Billboard Philippines Volumes.
On this episode of Billboard Philippines Volumes, we have Raveena on the show. She talks about what she loves about the Philippines, what she has been up to, and what she has planned for the future. All that and more as we turn up the volume on Raveena.
Billboard Philippines Volumes.
Welcome to Billboard Philippines Volumes, where we turn up the volume on your favorite artist stories. And today we are with international singer-songwriter Raveena. Thank you so much for being with us today. Studio, make some noise. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Okay. We just want to say thank you very much for coming straight to the studio. You came off a 17-hour flight.
Yeah.
You went straight into a meditation and just healing work. Can you tell us a little bit about where you just came from right now?
Oh, yeah. I was just shooting in Paris, and then I was doing like a whole press trip in Europe. So I just did like a 12-hour shoot and then got on a
Wow.
flight and then came here. It was really hectic.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And we remember when you were here for Wonderland as well.
Mhm.
How much do you enjoy every time you come here to the Philippines?
I love it. I wish I could go back to Palawan because I went to Palawan last time and it was
Gorgeous spot,
like
yes.
the most beautiful place I've ever
Yes.
been. It was so beautiful.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
When you were coming up with this show, what made you want to expand it or bring it to a next level?
I think as you do more tours, you just realize the level of craftsmanship that goes into putting on a good show. And I've been
Yes.
really inspired by both theater, but also jazz and classical artists where all they do is practice.
Yes.
And everything is about the quality of the show. Like,
Agree.
I think that's just where I want to take it and the standard I want to have. So I just committed to just a different level of practice the last 2
Yes.
years and
Mm-hmm.
really put in the hours to try to grow my voice and grow my skills on stage. And yeah, and that's a lifelong practice. It's never like immediate or overnight. You just see it over years.
No, that's true. I mean, it's an everyday thing, dedication, passion to the craft, and then it just shows on stage, and we're thankful for it.
Aw, thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about the healing and meditation work that you do with your fans and your audience, especially during your shows?
Yeah, so in my headline shows, sometimes I do a meditation during it, and that's really beautiful because we'll get, you know, thousands of people in a theater together, like completely quiet, which is a crazy
That's an
experience, you
experience.
know, 'cause
No. Okay.
getting that many people to be just shushed is so intense and beautiful, and then having them breathe together is beautiful. But then also when I went on tour with Tinashe last fall, I
Mhm.
offered these meditations before the show for free, and people could come, and we met like in the park, and it was just super sweet. Like I just gave a coordinate in different cities
Wow.
in nature, and I was like, come meet me here, and we would just do meditations, and that was just something really exhausting to put on in the middle of a tour, but also just life-changing. Like it's life-changing to create that kind of community.
Exactly. That is the word for it, community. I mean, that is such a beautiful way to connect with your fans on a different level other than just, of course, the music, but in the performance, but then being able to be one-on-one with them and then have a group of people together before the shows.
Exactly.
Have you met fans that have become friends this way?
Oh my God. Yes, I feel like that closeness definitely develops, and I feel like a really special part of it was this letter writing club. So people would bring letters to me and then put their address, and then sometimes I write back. So that's really
We love
it's
that.
been sweet.
So you're doing this, of course, with your community and your listeners and during your shows, but how have you also worked this into your music?
I think that something really important to me is making music from a healed perspective
Okay,
and
yes.
not like in the midst of going through the pain. Like sometimes, yes, I do that, but I like to have a little distance from what I'm going through and work through it in my body, because I feel like the energy that you put into music, people are living with that in their
Yes.
daily lives,
Yes.
like they're absorbing that.
Yes.
Sound is such a powerful conduit of energy. So I want to be very mindful of like what energy I'm putting into the music.
No, that makes sense. And I mean, when you're making a record, that's why they call it a record. It's there, and that's what
Yeah.
it is. You're capturing that beautiful energy, whatever
Yeah.
that is, and it's alive.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful way to put it. I love that.
You have your new project out, but we know that a deluxe version is coming. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I wrote so many songs for this album, like almost 120. So
Wait, what? Okay, hold on. Okay, how 120 songs?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us a little bit about this process. You have 120 on the whiteboard.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a lot. We went through like 40 different versions of the track list. I was being very perfectionist in the songwriting of this album
Wow.
because I kind of realized mathematically, like every 10 to 15 songs, that's when you got like the real gem
Yes.
and like the one that you want to listen to over and over again.
Yep.
So I was like, if an album has 10 to 15 songs,
Equations.
But it was a lot of work. I think that I'm surprised that my producers aren't tired of me.
I mean, just in this conversation alone, I'm just hearing that you're constantly putting in the work. You just said you're putting in so much work to do a bigger and better show. You're putting in the practice, making 120 songs to make the best album possible and focusing on that songwriting.
Aw.
What's pushing you?
At this point,
Yeah.
I'm like, what is pushing me? That's a really good question. Wow. I think that when you become like a conduit and a vessel
Okay. Yeah.
for a spirit, that requires a very specific type of discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to commit all the way. You have to
Yes.
kind of form your lifestyle around being an open vessel. And I think that in this album making process, I really got attuned to what that meant, like really being disciplined about my relationship with my phone and social media, being disciplined about my relationship with who I was surrounding myself with, my routines,
Say
my
it,
time,
speak it, go.
practice, like all
Mhm.
of that. Like I got super disciplined, and discipline as a form of devotion, you know?
Yes.
So I think that's what drives me is when you put in that discipline, your body just becomes this kind of like open vessel, and you just have these like life-changing moments with art
Yes.
and
Preach.
just these kind of moments where you're like, oh, I just feel like I'm a portal and like I'm
Mhm.
tapped into like another kind of energy, and I think that's what drives me is that kind of merging with spirit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Being at this point in your career and having all this happening to you, I guess taking it back, what would be some of your first memories with music where it all started?
I think that I was always very like tapped into elements, and I was always talking to trees and like
Wow. Okay.
singing in the grass. It's
Yeah.
very like hippie baby. So I think that, yeah, maybe I was even more of an open vessel then because I would just sing for hours, and I was really in touch. Like once we moved to Connecticut from New York City,
Mm-hmm.
I got to like have a backyard, and I was
Yes.
very like in touch with the
Yes.
elements
It's like,
there.
oh wow.
Yeah, they're pretty-
Nature.
yeah, nature. Because in Queens, all we had was like the little. Have you been to Queens ever or New
No,
York
but I
City?
can imagine
Yeah.
concrete
New York City,
everywhere.
there's
Yeah.
concrete everywhere. So we just have like little patches of grass.
And then going to Connecticut definitely just complete
Yeah,
180 from that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're having these first times, you're singing for hours, writing those first songs, do you remember what one of those first songs was?
Oh my God, it was definitely so corny. It was so bad. But I do remember that the way I was in touch with my voice
Mhm.
was something that I'm always trying to find now, because as an adult, you have to create so much time and have so many boundaries with all your responsibilities to
Yes.
be able to like tap into that. But as a child, you just have somehow an endless amount of hours to do
No.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, yeah, I always think about that.
That's so true. I mean, when you're younger, it's so easy to tap into that fire or that spark because it's just nonstop flowing. But then again,
Yeah.
going back into the now, the discipline is there to be able to just, okay, maybe it's not just a feeling that just happens once in a while and I just go off of that.
Yeah,
But it's
exactly.
time for the discipline aspect where it's like, I'm going to put myself in that element.
Exactly. And especially because I've been graced with the opportunity to be a full-time musician, I'm like, oh, like I'm not going to get caught up in all the bullshit of it. I'm going to take
Yes.
this opportunity
Mm.
and commit myself to the art and commit myself to the craft because that is such a specific time in your life when you can fully give yourself to art. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like as I get older, I'll probably be a mom, I'll have more and more responsibilities on
Yes.
me. So it's like, this is just such a special time that I can do that.
Are you excited for a next chapter after this music life that you're living?
Yeah, actually, I think like now I'm just thinking about that life and I feel really connected to family and community and just kind of a simpler way of living lately.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been really interested in learning more about like Ayurvedic practices and Ayurvedic ways of cooking and um, just like natural building, farming. Like there's so
Wow.
many things I want to learn in
Yes.
later in life. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to be a student all over again in a new way.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I'm unfamiliar.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like mm, I feel like if everyone had the opportunity to live more like our ancestors
Yep.
did, we'd be so much happier, you
Really, I want to
know?
throw my phone away now.
Yeah, yeah. Like being in touch with where your food comes from, growing it
Yes.
yourself, like
Exactly.
knowing how to build your own home, like knowing how to shelter yourself, knowing how to cook for yourself and feed yourself healthy
Mm-hmm.
things, living a slow life. Like that's kind of my long-term goal.
It's so funny to think like, shouldn't that be the basic knowledge we learn straight off the
I
bat? Shouldn't that be like the
know.
curriculum? Like, oh, we're gonna teach you how to make the food, build
Yeah.
your own place, and
Yeah.
live a more natural life that's better for you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. But they don't want us to know.
Oh, shout out them.
Yeah. No, they
Okay,
don't, because then they would like collapse the system if everyone knew how to do that.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. We gotta start. Maybe put some of that into the music even more, and then
Yeah.
subliminal in there. Okay, okay, we
It's in
realizing it
there. It's
now.
in there. I love it.
So right now, of course, you're on tour. Where's the next stop? What's happening next?
Yeah, I just today announced a full 27-day US North America tour. So that's going to be hectic.
Yes, super
Yeah,
hectic.
that's in the spring, and then we'll do the rest of the world across the next year. So it'll be fun.
What is making you the happiest right now?
Oh, I had a really, really tough start to the year, like really traumatic and hard with the fires and like with
Yes.
um, also with like a family member's illness.
Mm.
So I think what's making me the happiest right now is food.
Yeah. We were enjoying some croissants earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, because I have a lot of chaos and like a lot of responsibilities and a lot of like hectic travel and a lot of like
Hmm.
it's just like my life is just a lot. It's not simple right now. So those little moments when I can just like enjoy the local cuisine of
Yes.
somewhere and
Oh,
like
yes.
fully appreciate that and be like, wow, like this is what this country is known for. I can't get this anywhere else.
Exactly.
I can have it right here. That's been making me happy.
Bringing it back just to the now.
Yeah,
We're
exactly.
here right now. I'm going to enjoy this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
As someone that, like you said, you've been going through a lot, especially at the beginning of the year, and just dealing with so much going on this tour, creating this perfectionist album at the same time. How or what would be some advice you'd give for people that are also dealing with just a lot at the same time right now?
I was actually talking about this with my therapist because I started singing again because I was going through so much.
Pass the number.
Yeah, literally. And then we talked about how creating a sense of routine every day is really important, and
Agree.
like really having a boundary. Like I'm gonna have an hour to myself in the morning and an hour to myself at night. Like that's personally what I need.
Yes.
And that hour is mine. Like I'm not gonna go on my phone. I'm gonna meditate. I'm gonna take care of my body. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
stretch. I'm gonna like nourish myself. I'm gonna do my skincare. Like that's my time, and put on music. And having that lately has been really, really helpful. So I think that'd be my advice. Like just even if you don't have a lot of time, just be like, this block is my time.
Exactly. No, I totally agree. There's so many times that we just forget about that. It's like, you can't make time for yourself or set that boundary to give it to yourself. We should be able to.
Yeah. It should be just part of your workday. Like, this is my time.
We are super excited and thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
It was lovely speaking with you. We're excited for the new deluxe album, and here in the
Yeah.
Philippines, we're definitely a fan.
Thank you.
And don't be a stranger. Come back.
I will. Oh, I'm gonna come back.
All right. This has been Billboard Philippines Volumes with Raveena.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Billboard Philippines.